months. Jump out here on this NFL football over the weekend. Man, let's start with saying, damn, man, I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I really do. I hate them. But to see Dak Prescott go down like that, man, that's real fucked up, man. The dude was holding out to get his bread and was putting up Hall of Fame numbers. And to see his ankle get popped like that, I just feel bad for the brother, man. Just feel bad for him. You hate to see when stuff like that happens to a football player, but that's the dangers of playing football. You know, that's one of the reasons why I feel like football should be the main sport with guaranteed contracts. And that's part of the problem you have right now with these escalating salaries like they are, is because you don't have fully guaranteed contracts for the most part. If they had fully guaranteed contracts, you'd have shorter contracts, and they'd actually be less money. And they would count less against your cap space. Guys would know what they were dealing with. But because they're not guaranteed, you know what I mean? You put your career at risk by playing without a longer term contract. And Dak was playing on a franchise tag, which I hate. I truly despise that franchise tag shit. I truly despise it. It's another way to just keep the player locked in and not being able to move where they want to move or how they want to move. I understand for the NFL and how they want to keep teams intact because the team is the brand. But they got to negotiate a better deal from a collective bargaining standpoint, so that the players can be free agents and be full free agents. Got the first round pitch. The team has an option of a 5th year. But if the team has an option for the 5th year, then after that, it shouldn't be anything else that you're required to do for that team. I don't see why they should be able to hold you hostage with a franchise tag. If you don't want to pay the guy, allow him that he should be allowed to be able to move to where somebody who values him more than you has an opportunity to pay him. And I think that's only fair to secure his future. You know what I'm saying? Again, I hate to see that for the guy, because from college to now, I haven't seen where he's just been a bad guy, man. He's just been an all-around good dude. You know what I mean? All-around good dude. He's been a good player, damn good player. I don't know, man. I hate to see it happen to him, man. I hated to see it. It was gruesome yesterday. Just hate to see that happen to him, man. So much respect, man. Get well soon to Dakota Rain Prescott. And you know what I mean? But fuck the Dallas Cowboy fans though, and the Dallas Cowboy team. Other than that, fuck them. But like I say, salute to Dak, man. I hope he get well soon, man. Hope he's able to come back and play football again, man. I don't know. It was a fucked up injury. To see him carted out crying because he knew what the move was when it happened. You know what I mean? He was crying. He knew what it was. His foot was dangling. It was dangling. And I don't know, man. With what he brings to the table, you would expect that they pay him what I mean. You pay him what other quarterbacks are worth. Deshaun Watson hadn't done anything. I mean, you know, Patrick Mahomes has, and I understand why he got the contract. But you're paying these contracts based on the potential of the player, the potential to be great. And Dak Prescott has that. He has all the intangibles to be able to get that done. I mean, just I don't know what kind of player he's going to come out to be after this, and that's tough. You know what I mean? With an injury that substantial, that's tough. But well wishes to him, man. Get well soon. And that's all I got on that for right now, man. Hold your head, big bro. Hold your head, man. San Francisco 49ers in the tailspin. They benched Jimmy Garoppolo. I didn't particularly see where he was that good to begin with. I never thought that he was that good to begin with. I think he played in the system in New England that allowed him to be that. And Shanahan, because of the movement in the running game, plays in a very quarterback-friendly system because it doesn't put the pressure on the quarterback to be otherworldly. It doesn't. And so if you have good ability, you can actually put up great numbers and be successful because of how much and how well they're able to run the football with interchangeable running backs. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a big name running back or anything of that nature. He takes little known running backs and puts them over the edge, over 1,000 yards consistently. Same thing his father did. His father did the exact same thing. The system is great, and it stands across the test of time. It's great. The way the zone blocking scheme works is great. The motion, all the motion that the offense has, the use of multiple tight ends, and still being able to get into the passing game. And like I say, it's quarterback friendly. The quarterback doesn't have to go out there and throw the ball 50 times a game. But if need be, Kyle Shanahan is able to draw up plays that leave people wide open. I mean, he's a great play caller in most situations. The only time he's not great is in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. I mean, he just hasn't been great in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. But they're in a tailspin right now. And with Seattle taking off, with the Rams taking off, and even with Arizona pushing the envelope, San Francisco may not even make the playoffs after being in the Super Bowl last year. you have to make up and the competition you'll have to play against just to get out of your own division. The good news for them is that the NFC East sucks. So probably a below 500 team is going to end up being in the playoffs, whether it be Dallas or Philly. Who knows? Philly is actually better than their record. Dallas is not as good as their record, if that makes sense. Dallas should have lost to a winless Giants team yesterday, even with Prescott. Dallas should have lost to a winless Atlanta Falcons team, even with Dak Prescott. Now with Andy Dalton, I still don't see where they are very good, because their defense sucks. That defense sucks. But they still have an opportunity to win their division, because the rest of the division sucks. Washington sucks, and the Giants suck. It's a two-man race for the playoffs with 11 games left to go. The Raiders gave Kansas City what their first loss, and the Raiders also gave New Orleans Saints a loss. The Raiders gonna be pretty tough. Henry Ruggs, that speed is a killer, and you put him with Walls and Josh Jacobs, and that offense can pretty much score on anybody. Derek Carr is actually stepping up. I didn't see him being that good, but he played a hell of a game yesterday, and he outdueled Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes is a monster, even in that game, they had an opportunity to be able to win, or at least tie, in a game that shouldn't even been that close. But Patrick Mahomes' ability is just, man, it's out of this world. That dude is whew. There ain't a whole lot to say about that dude. That dude can do it all, man. He can move outside the pocket. He can throw the ball on the line 50, 60 yards on a rope. He can sidearm the ball and get it in the holes that people normally wouldn't be able to do, but that comes from his baseball background. And, you know, being able to pitch or play baseball, period. You know what I'm saying? Your throwing motion and having different arm angles to be able to throw a baseball can contribute heavily to being able to throw a football from different angles, because your arm gets used to it, being able to throw with velocity from odd angles and be accurate. shortstop or a third baseman, you know what I'm saying, or a second baseman, catching a one hop and then having to sidearm a throw to first base for the out, or sidearm a throw to second base to start the double team. So that being having a baseball background, it gives you an advantage playing quarterback in the NFL, because you're not pigeonholed into basic football quarterback mechanics. You can play outside of that and be able to do different things and get the ball out in different ways in tough situations. You know what I'm saying? So the dude is awesome, but the Raiders gave him everything they wanted yesterday, and they didn't want it. So the raggedy ass Atlanta motherfucking Falcons. There's no way Dan Quinn should have made it past the first game. After the first game, there's no way in hell he should have made it past the goddamn second game. But I am so happy and so I'm not happy to see anybody lose their job. Of course not. Not my point. But I'm glad to see you gone as a head coach, Dan Quinn. I'm glad to see Thomas Dimitroff gone. But I'm shaking my head on how long it took to make this decision. But since it's made, let's go on and move to the next thing. What is the next move? Are you going to keep going down the same road with Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan is a 35-year-old quarterback. Matt Ryan is not getting better. Yesterday, Matt Ryan missed 2 touchdown passes. Wide open. 2 wide open touchdown passes. In the end zone, where the tight end was just out there by himself. And the only thing he had to do was have some anticipation as to how and when a player would come open based on the route and based on the way the defense is moving. And he doesn't have that. In the NFL, you have to throw players open. You have to throw the receiver open. Okay? If he's already open, then fine. But you still have to throw players, receivers, open. You put the ball in a spot where they can get to it and get separation from the defender. If they haven't already gotten separation from the defender. You have to throw them where you want them to go. And your receivers have to understand that too. But then he comes back and he makes a bonehead fucking play. Bonehead. How do you There's no window at all to get this touchdown pass into Russell Gage. There's no window for you to get it there. He's blanketed. The corner is in a better position than the receiver. It was like the corner was running the route for him, and your quarterback still doesn't see it. It's worse than a rookie mistake. It's worse than that. It was a college freshman mistake. You know what I'm saying? It was a college freshman mistake. The defense blew assignments over and over and over again. It just blew them. If it wasn't for just a great blitz on one side, where Teddy Bridgewater wasn't able to get his head back around to the other side, Carolina would have put up 30 fucking points. 30 and some change, 34, 35. He had dude wide open down the sideline where nobody was over there. The safety forgot about him. The linebacker and the cornerback on that side both blitzed. And the slot receiver ran a slant route to the opposite corner. And so the slot corner went with him. I mean, there's literally 80 yards of open field for this guy to just run wild. It just so happens the blitz got there just in time. But Teddy Bridgewater was composed. Teddy Bridgewater played a great game. And as usual, the Atlanta Falcons made the quarterback look like fucking Joe Montana. And Mike Davis, old Atlanta native, the running back, came out there and had a game for the ages. I think he had his best career game versus us, versus the Falcons. I think, as a matter of fact, Teddy Bridgewater had his best career game yesterday versus the Falcons. It's time to rebuild. It's time to get rid of some of these bad contracts. You have to get rid of Matt Ryan. You have to. And you probably need to get rid of Julio Jones and his contract so that you're not pigeonholed for the next 2-3 years. Unless you just don't plan on being successful. You just don't. If you don't plan on being successful, then fine. I mean, that works. Just understand that you're planning to not be successful. You need to get rid of Keanu Neal and Ricardo Allen. It's time for them. Thank you. You served your purpose. But the injuries, constant injuries with Neal, constant injuries with Ricardo Allen, it's just time to do something different. Oliver does not have the speed to play cornerback. He doesn't. He doesn't have the speed to play cornerback. But he will be a great safety. He could be a great safety. put him there. He could be a great safety. Got Jalen Hawkins. You don't know what DeMonte Casey is going to be when he comes back. So, but anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for your service there, Mr. Quinn and Mr. Dimitrov. We ain't gonna miss you. Seattle Seahawks. Man, Russell Wilson is just the MVP, and he just continually keeps finding ways to win games. Seattle's defense is not as dominant as it once was, but in the clutch, they stopped Minnesota on 4th and inches, under 2 minutes, in a goal-to-go situation, inside the 5-yard line. Russell Wilson on 4th and 10. His DK Metcalf for a 40-yard fucking completion to keep the drive going. Russell Wilson is just, man, he's just a bad man. The dude just bad. Dude is just bad. I mean, he MVP right now to me. Minnesota controlled the whole game. They controlled the clock. I think they was out. They had like time of possession was almost 3-1 almost, and they still lost because of Russell Wilson's big playability and consistent big playability. He may be the best deep ball thrower I have ever seen in my life. He may be the best deep ball thrower I've ever seen in my life. Gotta get a man in the rock. Even though I hate the fucking Seahawks too. All in all, man, one of the things I hate though is Dwayne Haskins and many other black QBs, when they come into the league, do not get the same opportunities to be average or mediocre or grow into a system or grow into the position. And I understand open competition, but Alex Smith don't give you no more chance to win than Dwayne Haskins does. He just doesn't. He doesn't. Like to see the same opportunities be given to black players, black quarterbacks as white quarterbacks. I'd like to see that. From a black perspective, you get the hook too fast. So, but it's not like he was playing well. I won't pretend like he was. He wasn't playing well at all. And I understand the coach trying to get a change out there. But rarely do you see this where all fairness, again, in all fairness, Shanahan benched Jimmy Garoppolo this week for Beathard. So, I mean, there are some instances where it's like, okay, well, bro, sit your ass on the bench. You know, so I won't pretend like it doesn't happen. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying on average, the black quarterback doesn't get the same opportunity as the white one does. If he doesn't come out the gate spectacular, then he's done. You know what I mean? And even if he does come out the gate spectacular, if the next year, if he's not spectacular, he's done. Vince Young, fucking RG3, plenty of other examples out there where you just, oh, okay, well, he did good one time, and then, oh, well, fuck it. He don't deserve to be here no more. We're going in a different direction. RG3 was even hell. They drafted Kirk Cousins in the same draft. I don't think they ever had any intention of him being the starter. But he just, Kirk Cousins just could not play him. But that's the gist of it for today, man, as far as the NFL is concerned, man. Hell of a weekend. Again, I want to, man, well wishes out to Dakota Rain Prescott, man. I hate to see that happen to anybody. And good riddance to Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitrov. And y'all can get with Bill O'Brien and go fishing. That's all I got for you on the NFL today, man. We'll holler at y'all in a minute, man. It's your boy Buddy Rowe, Trout Sports. Y'all stay up.